everyone, for my final project I will be doing a paper. What I'm going to be discussing in my paper is the act of belonging and adventure. What this entails is that the characters in Paper Towns and Diviners go through this sense of belonging within each story. Margot from Paper Towns, I will start out with, is she's a very adventurous girl who wants more than life than it has to offer in her town. She goes to a paper town in New York State to find herself, which basically means that she's adventurous and she wants to find herself. Evie from the Diviners is also searching for that sense of belonging as well. She was in Ohio, which didn't offer much, and she was too big for it, as we discussed in class. So she moves to New York to get away from everything and finds herself within these, and she goes through these challenges. Sorry, it's my cat. She goes through these challenges within each story, or within her story, and she feels as though she is big and she's there and she doesn't know where she belongs just yet because of her powers that she has. My secondary sources connect to my argument very well, I believe. One article that I like, it's called Connecting with Text, Teacher Candidates Reading Young Adult Literature. It discusses that young adults are more likely to read a book if it connects to their life more, which is true because I find that out very much, because when I was in my student, my observations, like I would find that kids would like The Outsiders a lot, but that's besides the point. Anyways, but she goes, Margot goes through this sense of identity where she goes to a paper town to find out who she is, from the girl in high school. Another one is called Space and Place, in the American, which examines one place within a story. So that's to find out where they are socially, since they since the same home isn't the same place for everybody. It means a different thing. It means a different time, a different place, a different atmosphere. And traveling to a new location can find out what they're missing. Usually tends to be quite accurate a lot between YA stories, so that is mentioned in there as well. Another argument is one that engages the readers and empowers the readers as soon as they read them, because as soon as the adults see themselves, or as soon as the young adults see who they are within these stories, they connect their life to them, which is very cool, because I feel everyone should be able to connect to something in a way. So I really like that source, and I really am going to use it. Another one is to talk about what a paper town is. A paper town is essentially a made-up place on a map where map makers make that up for copyrights, and Margot, in a sense, feels like a paper girl within a paper town. So it's kind of, I kind of got Evie in a sense in that way too. She's not necessarily a paper girl, because she does go to a real place, which is New York, but she is sort of like this girl who doesn't know who her identity is or where she belongs, and I feel like it's gonna connect really well. I just like this sense of belonging because these two characters are so different but so connected in a way too, because they both do something, and they both are something within these stories at the end. I mean, even though we haven't read the end of Evie's story yet, but we can tell by the first book that she really has a lot more to accomplish, and she feels like she belongs there now, even though her powers are just begun and she just noticed who she is and what she is, but she feels more at home in New York than Ohio. So that's a big change that I've seen throughout her character. But yeah, I just really hope that by the end everyone at least tries to connect to a story, or at least feels as if they can connect these two characters together by the time it's done. Well, thank you guys.